For years ago, my life looked like a meticulously framed oil painting titled Happy American MiddleClass Life. I'm Jera, 35, living in a suburban California home with a manicured lawn. My husband, Fick, was a diligent software engineer with a good income, while I played the picture-perfect housewife that society expected. Every day ran like clockwork. At dawn, when the first sunbeam slipped through the blinds, I'd have dripped coffee and perfectly toasted bagels ready for Fick. Once he left, the house fell into a hollow silence, broken only by the dishwasher's hum. My world revolved around Whole Foods organic veggies, Target home decor, and endless Amazon browsing of things I didn't really need. My walk-in closet was packed with impulse purchases from J.Crew and Banana Republic, tags still attached. On the surface, I had everything: a loving husband, a sweet child, a stable home. But beneath that veneer of security, a creeping emptiness, like vines, was quietly entwining me. My art history degree had long been replaced by diapers and recipes. Most of my friends were just like me. Our conversations rotated between school gossip, neighborhood hearsay, and the latest streaming shows. Our lives were comfortable, yet stagnant. Fick loved me, but he dwelled in his code world, and our conversations became mere logistics, stripped of spark and depth. I craved proof I was more than Fick's wife or the kid's mother. I needed to feel useful, capable. That longing, like a Trojan horse, opened the door for the devil. It began with a Facebook group called Savvy Moms Saving $. A community of thousands of stay-at-home moms sharing coupons and deals. One day someone posted, "You can earn some cash by writing product reviews on Amazon." Simple, they prepay via PayPal, you order the item, post a 5-star review, and receive $10, 15 commission plus you keep the product. It felt tailor-made. Harmless whimsy, extra income novelty. I messaged the poster, joined a WhatsApp group, and tasks flooded in. Free items appeared, from air fryers to yoga mats. In just 2 weeks, I earned $300 plus. Not much, but the thrill of earned reward awakened something. Telling Fick, he just smiled. "That's nice, honey, something fun for you." He didn't know that fun was about to devour everything. One evening, I was joyfully testing my new pasta maker when a private WhatsApp message popped up, from Ben, his avatar a cartoon maneki. "Hi Jera," he wrote. "You're very active in the group and doing great. Interested in a more efficient, higher pay platform." My heart skipped. "What kind of platform?" "Also task-based, but more advanced," he answered professionally and mysteriously. "It's user activity testing for major gambling and gaming firms. Similar operation, but commissions start at $50 per task. Invite only." "Gambling?" I tensed. "Is that legal?" "Sounds like betting." "Oh, not at all," he reassured. "You don't gamble your own money. You log in at specific times, click and place simulated bets merely to test the systems under load. They give you play money in advance. When the task is done, you get your balance and commission back. No personal risk." It sounded airtight, like review work, but fancier. I had no reason to refuse. Under Ben's guidance, I downloaded a glossy app. It pretended to be finance, but inside were roulette wheels, poker tables, slot machines. Using crypto, Ben transferred me $500 startup funds. The task: bet on red at the roulette table 10 times, $50 each. I tapped away on the cold phone screen, watching the virtual ball flip between red and black. Heart pounding. 10 spins felt like a century. 6 reds for blacks. My balance jumped to $600. I reported back. He told me to withdraw. Minutes later, $650 landed in my PayPal. $500 principal, $50 commission, plus a $100 welcome bonus Ben claimed was a gift. My phone shook in my hand. I felt my adrenaline buzz. Compared to writing dozens of reviews, this was fast cash. That moment, I swallowed the honey-coated hook. Over the next month, I spiraled. Ben sent me 1 or 2 tasks daily. Soon I wasn't just following instructions. I was studying game patterns. Following his strategy, I always won. Thousands of dollars flowed into my account daily. I lived a double life. By day, I was the Lululemon leggings-clad mother driving an SUV to school, chatting about composting with the neighbors, baking cookies for school fundraisers. By night, with Fick's snores beside me, I crept into the guest room, tapped the gold coin icon app, entering a bizarre world of flashing lights and bets. The screen lit my eager, greedy face. Every bet, every hand, each one was a surge of electric control I hadn't felt in years. With winnings, I splurged. I moved from outlet bargains to shopping at Neiman Marcus, dropping $4,000 on La Mer skincare. I upgraded to the latest iPhone and secretly bought a white Tesla Model 3, calling it money saved over years as my down payment. When friends asked, I volleyed, "Just some online investing, got lucky." I soaked in their envy. It felt better than any luxury item. I thought I was chosen, brilliant at commanding money. Fick noticed my change, but was simply happy. He saw me energized, no longer bored. One day he held me and said, "Jera, seeing you this happy, I think staying at home was the right choice." Amid my guilt over the lies, relief rushed in. He didn't know I was writing a lie. But fate had already marked its price. The turning point came on a Tuesday night. Ben didn't assign a task. Impatient, I logged into the platform myself. I thought I'd mastered the pattern. At first, I won, then I lost. $1, $000, $2,000. My rationality collapsed as must win it back took over. Just one big bet, I thought. Then I'll recover all. I ramped up stakes from hundreds to thousands per bet. I watched in horror as our joint savings, $80,000 saved over 8 years, vanished the screen. It was our child's college fund, our safety net. When the balance finally hit zero, time froze. I slumped to the cold floor. My phone slipped from my hand. Outside, the pre-dawn sky was a deathly gray. I'd never felt so numb or terrified. For days, I functioned like a shell. I dreaded each call, each look from Fick, couldn't sleep without seeing that zeroed-account screen. Ben's account vanished. He'd disappeared. I couldn't bear it any longer. One weekend I confessed everything. I downplayed moonlighting, focused on how I'd been deceived, begged for forgiveness with tears. I expected his disappointment and anger, but couldn't anticipate what came next. Shock turned to rage. His chest heaved. He swept a mug off the table with a roar. $80,000. Jera, that was our entire savings. What were you thinking? His voice cracked with fury. I'm sorry, Fick, I truly made a mistake, I sobbed. Mistake? Just sorry. He lunged, pushed me hard, and my head hit a bookshelf. Blinding pain. Dizziness. The world spun. I stared, stunned, at this stranger in my husband's body. A concussion, doctors said. The body heals, but that crack in my heart never would. I asked for a divorce. He snapped out of rage, pleaded, crying, claimed he'd lost control. Seeing his regret and knowing it all started with me, I softened. We didn't divorce. Life resumed a fake normal, but we both knew something was irreversibly broken. After that trauma, I deleted everything gambling related from my phone. Swore never to touch it again. I thought I could reboot, but I underestimated the power of addiction and overestimated my strength. About a month later, a stranger's WhatsApp account added me. Another cat avatar. I'm a friend of Ben's, the message began. Your situation was just a system glitch. Now they're offering a compensation deal for premium users like you. Deposit $2,000 and you get an extra $500 credit. Anger, then hate, but that free credit made my heart race. A twisted impulse surfaced. If I can withdraw that bonus immediately, I could get free money. For me, that $500 felt life-changing. I had no savings. I turned to credit apps, Affirm, Klarna Installments, PayPal Credit. I scraped together $20,000 and transferred it to the platform. The $4,000 credit appeared. I attempted a withdrawal. The system replied, must complete required turnover tasks first. I fell into their second trap. To unlock withdrawal, I had to bet. Just a few rounds, I told myself, enough to hit turnover and stop. But once I began, I couldn't stop. I fantasized I could recover the entire $80,000 loss and set everything right. The result was inevitable. Within a week, the $20,000 deposit and bonus credit were gone. My debt went from $0 to $20,000. Desperate, I called my parents. I cried, told them I'd found a great business opportunity, planning to open a downtown cafe, but urgently needed $35,000. My parents, hardworking and trusting, sent every penny of their retirement savings. My father said warmly, Jera, go work hard. This is all we've ever hoped for from you. I hung up with the phone burning in my hand. With that money, I cleared the loans, but fear took over. My parents called every week, full of excitement, asking about the cafe menu decor. Each question felt like a dagger. I feared they'd call Fick. I needed to pay them back, fast. But how could a stay-at-home mom, whose credit was maxed, earn $35,000? Only one answer. The hell I swore I'd never return. Again I contacted the platform. I borrowed through every avenue, high-interest cards, payday loans. I threw money into the pit like a maniac. I fantasized a phoenix rise. Instead, utter annihilation. My debt doubled, $70K. I completely collapsed. Sleepless, hair falling out, gaunt beyond recognition. I left the house less and less. Calls and emails from creditors haunted me. I even turned on my best friend. I lied to Jessica, claiming Fick's investments had tanked and I needed $10,000 urgently. She lent it without hesitation. Then I approached Fick's friends, trusting him. They contributed over $40,000. That money sparked brief hope, but it was still nowhere near enough. Under the platform's pull, that trust evaporated too. I truly lived in hell. Wanted to die but lacked the courage. Wanted to live, but saw no hope. Then a call from my parents shattered the last cover-up. I was cooking dinner. Fick's phone rang, my father. Fick's face turned pale, then furious. He hung up and marched toward me, eyes full of cold hate. A voiceover. Cafe? Jera, what exactly have you done to me and your family? I could no longer speak. What followed was a storm far worse than before. He yanked my hair and slammed my head into the doorframe. I felt warm fluid from my forehead. My parents arrived, but they saw only a shattered, lying daughter. They sided with him, scolding me for disgracing the family. At that moment, my heart died. I broke free, screaming, and fled our home for a week. Eventually, I decided to file for divorce. But on the way to the courthouse, Fick flipped again. Offered to mortgage our house for $150,000, repay all debts, on one condition. I quit gambling entirely and undergo therapy. I agreed. He mortgaged the house. I paid off most debts. For redemption, I got a job at Starbucks, wearing a green apron, pumping one coffee after another for $15 per hour. I told myself it was penance. I lasted 3 days. On the third night, exhausted, I collapsed on the couch. I did the math. Even with every dollar, I'd only pull in under $3,000 per month. And the mortgage payments were crushing. Then a spam text flashed from a new gambling site. Sign up, get $200 trial credit, up to 10 times cashback. The devil whispered again. Win $300 in a day, far more than you'd make working the counter. Just try once, just a little. Fick monitored me. His hidden violence filled me with fear and hatred. A twisted resolve formed. I'd win back the mortgaged money, then leave him, dignified. Prove I wasn't trash. Driven by hate and greed, I fell again, harder than ever. I drained every last credit avenue. I hid in the bathroom, hiding under shower pretenses, gambling hours on end. I longed for Fick to leave the house, so I could borrow and bet unimpeded. My debt snowballed again. Soon, all channels dried up. Desperate, I called someone my college boyfriend, Jason. Jason and I had dated at college and broke up amicably due to distance. He now worked in Silicon Valley. I found his contact, lied. Our marriage is failing, divorce underway, but I need money for lawyer fees. Jason, gentlemanly, offered. Accompany me for a weekend in San Francisco, just to unwind, and he'd lend me $15,000. I said yes. I lied to Fick that Jessica was upset and needed me there. Jessica helped me cover. That weekend, Jason took me to the Golden Gate Bridge and a Michelin restaurant. He was kind, respectful, nothing untoward. But I wasn't present. On the restaurant table, in the hotel bathroom, I was gambling. I plastered his transferred $15,000 into the app and lost it all. Back home, drowning in greater debt, I snapped. I did the most disgraceful, unforgivable thing I've ever done. I impersonated Fick to borrow money from his relatives, co-workers, friends, by urgent pretenses. Because I was his wife and they trusted him, I easily borrowed nearly $70,000. That money vanished in less than a week. By then, my total debt exceeded $200,000. I knew I was at the edge. I feared Fick discovering the truth might kill me. I sent him a long, incoherent farewell message and fled the house in the night, going to Jason. When I confessed my $200,000 plus debt, his sympathy vanished. Rationally, he told me. The initial $15,000 was okay, but the additional $20,000 he loaned now had to be repaid. He demanded I write a promissory note, then politely asked me to leave. In the face of life-shattering debt, notions of kindness turned pitiful. Fick and I finally divorced. He didn't touch what the house loan covered, but he disowned any debt incurred under his name. He insisted I send written notes to each creditor with my personal details. He severed ties with his family and friends over my actions. Divorce day, I went with Jason. I was afraid Fick's relatives might attack me. After divorce, Fick unleashed revenge. He spread rumors that I rekindled things with Jason during the marriage, that I was shameless. Eventually, I received a message from my mother. I'd disgraced the family in front of all relatives. From now on, I'm no longer their daughter. I was abandoned by the world. A game I could never win.